Wednesday.
We got intro music because Emerson's a musician. We learned last week.
Is this
All
what
right,
this
You
is?
haven't
this
seen
week.
last week's What's Up Wednesday. Go watch it right now.
Go watch it. This week, we have a special guest again who will be joining us.
Very special.
Very special. Okay, so this week we have Web Girl Morgan number 2 from the Bobby Bone Show. This is week 3 of What's Up Wednesday Quarantine Edition. And Emerson, I just love the music. Just keep it up, my dude. Keep it up. Oh, there she is. All right, here's our guest today, folks. Hi.
Hi. Okay, I'm a Kinsey. I'm the one that's been DMing you.
Awesome. Well, thanks for reaching out. I really appreciate it.
Thanks so much for coming on.
Oh, fun. You said this is an audio-visual production class. Is that what this is?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So we're
so
trying
cool.
to come up with ways to still do stuff without being able to be together and film stuff. So
Your goal.
yeah.
I mean, thankfully, you can film and do audio just about anywhere. You don't really have to be in school. So
Yeah.
that's
Right.
the good thing about that class for sure.
For
But
sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
It makes you be a little bit more creative than usual.
Right. Which has been fun. And these two have been really good about that. So I'm really, we've done this probably, this is our 3rd week of this now, maybe?
Third, yeah.
Yeah.
Third week of being not in class, yeah.
Yeah. So I've been kind of doing things
While still
different
being in class, yeah.
while still being in class. Yes.
Question 1. So, we know that you grew up in Wichita and you went to K-State, right?
Yes, that's where I went to college.
So we just wanted to know, like, what high school you went to and what some of your favorite activities or memories you had from that were just enjoyable.
Well, I went to Mays High School, and I was in the graduating class of 2012. Oh man, gosh, I gotta think back so far now. That seems so long ago. But I loved homecoming, and I was also, ironically, that's where my first love of like journalism started. I was in our broadcast class where we did the morning announcements, where I thought that was the coolest thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Although we were talking about like what was for lunch and
Right.
the announcements from our principal. So that class was really fun, but I did that my senior year and I really liked that. That kind of started my spiral of love for journalism. But then I was also really active in K Club, and I don't even know if this is still around. But K Club was really all volunteer work, and I ended up becoming the area president for Kansas, of like the major public schools within like 6 or 7 counties. I'm not really sure. But I went to a camp, and I literally worked with all these people, all these students across the country that were my same age, and we volunteered all the time to help different people. And that was like my other love, was like volunteering. If I didn't do journalism, it would have been in nonprofit work. And so that kind of started and really helped my passion for volunteering and leadership too. So between those two things, I really love those. But obviously the other things like homecoming and dances and football games and all the crazy things. Friday nights was very real at Mays High School. So
That's awesome. Do you still, working in radio and that kind of thing, do you still get to do some of that, like nonprofit, volunteer, kind of any of that at all with your job, or?
not as much as I would like. So with the show, Bobby and Amy obviously own or part ownership in the Shop Forward, which is all nonprofit based. So we raise money for a lot of different people who need it, you know, different causes, from devastation from tornadoes to, you know, veterans, depending on what they are. So I get a taste of that, but just raising money is not getting my hands dirty, and I love getting my hands dirty. Like when I was in college, I had a leadership minor, so I was also still getting my hands really dirty in college, and one of the last things I did in college was we worked at a soup kitchen, but like more than we were supposed to be serving, we were supposed to be talking to the homeless and like learning their stories. And that was like something that I really love. And I wish with with my job now and my hours that it is, it's really difficult to find volunteer opportunities that work with it, but not as much as I would like. I definitely wish I could do more nonprofit work. So hopefully as my life continues on, I can find that happy balance.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So my question, so this is my first year teaching this kind of a class. I'm a history teacher. So I really didn't have a lot of background in video production, any of that. So they've really taught me a lot. But I've loved it.
I was a bit skeptical first at the start of the year.
Thanks, Emerson. Appreciate it.
Listen.
And so I think that the best part about it has been just like the interaction and like the funny things they do for entertainment and for our audiences and how they perform and find themselves performing. And so basically what is kind of the funniest or best parts of being a part of the Bobby Bones Show and that production? And what are some things that you've really found yourself enjoying?
It's probably when we kind of forget that the microphones are there, either when it's like a really intense, vulnerable moment and everybody just kind of like feels it, or when there's like a challenge happening. Like when I had to race Lunchbox and changing our tire and he cheated and it was a whole ordeal. That was like the best day. The whole 5 hours of our show just flew by. So anytime we do like challenges that happen on the internet and then we bring them into the morning show, those are my favorite days when we're just laughing. Like we also do a segment, we haven't done it in a while, but where we put on shock collars and we have to answer trivia questions. If we get them wrong, we get shocked. And as brutal as it sounds, it's hilarious.
That would be hilarious.
So it's fun and it's entertainment that, you know, most people don't get to do at work. So when we get to do those challenges and like just really either get really close together in a vulnerable moment or kind of laugh at each other for different challenges, those are really like the best parts of the show.
I love
We
that.
should do that.
I
We
know.
should-
I know. Well, what you just said
Shock
about
for us.
what people don't get to like have that much kind of fun at work. I feel that like working with these guys and with kids, like I want to work with kids. I don't want to work with adults all the time. So I love that. That's
Well,
perfect.
everybody's doing all these TikTok challenges. I'm like, my job is literally a TikTok challenge.
My job is a TikTok challenge. I love it.
I refuse to join it because I'm like, I do this every day. I'm not going to create more content when I already am actually physically in the content.
Mhm.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yes.
All right, so if you worked in the broadcast and the radio, field, you've probably, I'm assuming that you've met a bunch of new people because there's a lot of people in this field, but specifically, who is the nicest country music artist you've met so far?
Oh man, I don't honestly, I don't think there's a mean one. Really,
Right.
yeah. Really,
I can see that.
really kind. I've had interactions with like pop artists that are newer. I don't even remember their names. That I'm like, well, who are you? Where'd you come from? And they're not very kind.
Yeah.
I would say the nicest is Low Cash. I don't know if you guys have heard of them.
I have. Yes.
Mhm.
I think I'm a bigger country fan than these two, but so
Well, I could say the obvious is Garth Brooks, and John Mayer came in and he was very kind, very like hippie, worldly, everything you'd expect of John Mayer. And Kid Rock came in and he was very ironically kind as well. Not what you would expect, but he was just very soft-spoken and very sweet. But Low Cash is probably my favorite because I have known them throughout my entire country music career for working in radio. From working in Wichita, they came through a show that was for the bowl series that happens at Club Rodeo. I don't know if that still happens, but when it did, they came through and I was just brand new to the radio scene. And from that moment up until now, they still know my name. They know everything about my life. They make sure to watch everything that's happening with me. And I'm not the only one who feels that way. So like they really take a lot of care in their relationships in the industry. So for me, those two are just unparalleled when it comes to being genuine and like wanting an actual friendship with people that they work with.
that's awesome. That's what you want to hear, I think, when you ask those kind of
But
questions.
really, all of them are really, really cool. And like Luke Bryan and Jake Owen, they come in and they're hilarious. So I don't really have a bad story with the country artists. But again, pop artists is a little bit different. Those are a little bit more diva-esque, I guess you could say.
Okay.
But country stars, not so much.
awesome.
Have you ever had like a total fangirl moment? Like, oh my gosh, I'm meeting this person.
Oh, it was Shania Twain, and that was my first day starting with the Bobby Bone Show. I wasn't even actually part of it yet. I was just in kind of a trial run. Bobby had called me during CMA Fest and asked me to kind of come fill in and see if it was a good fit. And yeah, my first day on the job was Shania Twain, and she's like my number one. I love her. She's a 90s country artist, and like if you're a female, you grew up listening to Shania Twain. Even guys listen to Shania Twain. My dad got me hooked on her. So yeah, I didn't not talk, so I was pretty calm and cool, but inside I was freaking out hardcore.
Oh yeah,
That's awesome.
who wouldn't? Yeah, I love it.
But also too, Brooks and Dunn, that was another crazy one. Just the 90s artists in general, they're pretty iconic to me. So
Same. I agree, and I don't know if you guys just don't get it. I'm sorry, you're too young. You just don't get it. It's fine. But I know. What, Emerson?
Teenagers, they're just not this culture, and I get
You
it.
just don't get it. You just don't get it. So.
So my question is, if you were ever on a cooking show, cooking competition, what would be like your signature dish you would make? And for me, I think it would have to be like my chocolate chip cookies, kind of known for having like, not to brag or anything, but like pretty good ones. So I think I would have to make those.
oh man, I think it would be an elevated grilled cheese. I've watched a lot of cooking shows, but man, you can do so many things with a grilled cheese. Like put macaroni in it. You
I
can
was
make
just going to ask you about a grilled cheese mac and cheese from Varsity Donuts.
Oh yes, I had many of those in my day.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But you can do anything with grilled cheese, so that just gives me an advantage. So I think it'd be an elevated grilled cheese.
Nice.
Let's see. The only thing I've ever cooked in my life is like a meatloaf. So I still have the recipe.
Okay.
I'd make my nana's meatloaf. That's what I would do.
I mean, that's a big feat if that's
I
all.
know. I was like expecting
Yeah.
cereal or something. Like, okay, Emerson.
Yeah.
Again, hitting us with the weird talents. Emerson every week gives us a
Yeah.
weird talent he can do. So, mine would be not a cooking thing. I pride myself in extreme cookie decorating skills. It's an art form in my family. It's a competition, and so that would be my cooking skills: decorating sugar cookies to an extreme
That's
level.
the best sugar cookie you've decorated that you're
I
proud of.
made a whole series. I'm really proud of it. A whole series of Mean Girls themed sugar cookies, and I had like quotes on them, and like, you know, it was awesome. I was really proud of it. So the Mean Girls theme.
Insert picture here.
Yes, we will insert picture here in the edit. Yes.
Okay.
All right, Emerson, what's your question?
So I don't know about everybody else, but I've been snacking a little bit more than usual with this whole situation that we're in, and I've been eating a lot of these peanut butter filled pretzel thingies. But what's your guys' favorite snack at the moment?
Well, I made myself a whole cake and I ate it all, so that's probably been my snack for the past week. I won't say the name of it because it's not bad, but it's how better than blank cake.
I think yep, that's a good one.
And
cake.
it's really good, and it's like 4 ingredients. But yeah, I ate the whole pan this week. It was really bad.
I support that. That's good.
That's awesome.
Mine has been. Sorry to cut somebody off, but I have been eating on these. They are the dark chocolate, sea salt, turbinado, sugar, whatever from Trader Joe's almonds. They're so good. Highly recommend. Those are mine for sure.
You know what's also good at Trader Joe's is their sweet potato gnocchi.
I don't think I've ever. Did I buy some of that? I might have. I have a freezer full of, you know, all the things. So
Yeah, but for real, get some.
Try that.
Freezer was sweet potato. I think that's how you pronounce gnocchi, right?
yeah. Gnocchi.
I pronounce words wrong all the time.
Sure.
Well, no one can pronounce that word. So there's like, yeah.
But all y'all should get it. You guys will like it, I promise.
Okay, I can't pick one snack, but my like go-to midnight snack is a brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tart.
Oh,
Like sneak upstairs, grab one of those, go back downstairs, and eat my Pop-Tart. I'm happy.
That's a classic.
I don't know if this is just me, but like this last time I went to the grocery store, I felt like I bought all the bad breakfast foods. I bought cereal and Pop-Tarts and donuts and muffins, and I had all of them, and I was like, I don't have any other meal of the day. All I have is breakfast food.
Same. And I never eat those things normally. I don't have Pop-Tarts and cereal for breakfast ever, and yet needed it for this.
The quarantine times, it's like the breakfast soul food.
It is. Breakfast soul food. There you go. Yes. Okay, last question. I don't know how many times I've said this with my friends and whoever I've been talking to, but I feel like I say, man, when this is all over. So I've started making this man, when this is all over list of like what I want to go do. And so what is on your when this is all over list? What are you going to do immediately after all of the stay-at-home stuff is lifted completely and life is back to pretty much normal? And mine would definitely be going to a restaurant, sitting on a patio, having them bring me chips and salsa and margaritas and, sorry kids, and live music. Miss it. All those things. So that would be mine, for sure.
Oh yeah, mine's definitely on that same level. It'd be just gather all my friends for a day of hanging out, going to eat, doing all the things that we literally couldn't do. Just socializing. Maybe even a big group hug. That's probably
Group hug. Yeah.
I think mine would be just go. I work at a pizza place, and we currently don't have salads because of the whole situation, and I've been having withdrawals. I think we have the best salads, in my opinion. So I think I would just go and eat a big salad with like all the toppings, get the buffet items in there. Like, I think that's mine.
What pizza place do you work at?
I work at D'Angelo's in Heston.
Okay. I know it, yeah.
Yeah, it's the best pizza in my opinion, so.
Very good.
I mean, salad bars are just unmatched, so
Yes.
I don't disagree with you on that
Yes.
one.
That's a great answer, Ken.
Man, I don't want to give my answer because it's just so lame. Like what we're doing now is what I've been doing for the past 17 years of my life, staying in my house most of the time. But yeah, I mean, even for me, this is getting a bit too much. So I'd probably just do what everyone else would do. Just go do anything really that involves socialization.
Emerson's making himself appear like a kid who lives in a basement and doesn't do anything. That's not true. Emerson kicked my butt
I'm in a basement.
in pickleball the other day when we happened to be at the same place at the same time, and we were outside, and he's like, coming to play, and he kicked my butt. So he is not, you are selling yourself short on your activities, Emerson.
Well, I think there's a difference too on being quarantined and having to stay inside, and then having a choice to stay inside.
Yep.
So at least I think most of us would admit we'd still be watching a lot of Netflix regardless.
Yeah.
So,
Yes. It's still going to be a thing. Yeah. But
Yes.
okay. Well, that is all we've got. Thank you so much. Morgan,
Yes, thank you so
for
much.
joining us, and we'll appreciate it a lot. So much. So
yeah, of course. Thanks again for asking me. If you guys
Yeah.
need anything else, just reach out.
that's awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.